Hello and welcome to another beer review here from the Czech Republic. Thank you very much for watching. You may wonder, why am I sitting here in a jumper in the middle of August? Well, it's been cold here in the country, in kind of Central Europe for the last couple of weeks. We had around kind of 15, 18, maybe 20 degrees. But yesterday it was really cold. I was driving up the motorway and the car showed me it was 12 degrees. And I was during the day, in the middle of August. So very strange times, but I guess it is what it is. This morning we had a lot of rain. It was just pouring down. But I think it kind of is the end of it now, because when I look at the sky, it's a little bit sunny. Still a bit cloudy as well, but it seems to be getting warmer, and they are promising kind of 26 to 28 degrees again over the weekend. So really looking forward to a little bit of warmer weather, because after all it is summer, and I do think it should be a bit warmer. But it is what it is. We'll get through it, and it's not going to stop us from enjoying a good beer either. And speaking about good beer, today I'm really excited to share this beer with you, to have this and give you my thoughts and my views, because I'm really excited about the story of this brewery. And it's the brewery Pivovar Malenovice, which is in Zlín. And the kind of short name for them is Zlínský švec, which is basically, švec is the Czech word for shoemaker or cobbler, which has a long tradition within the kind of Zlín region. Now Zlín, I think I mentioned this in my last video, is in the very southeast of the country. So when you go to Brno, you would kind of go east, to the mountain kind of region, very close to Slovakia as well, and you would get to Zlín, and there you will find this brewery. This brewery has been around since 2008, I think, the beginning of 2008. This is when they kind of came up with when they brewed their first batch of beer. But they weren't actually based in Malenovice, so that's the part of Zlín, the district of Zlín is called Malenovice. They weren't based back then, back then. They were based in a village kind of around, 8-10 kilometers outside of Zlín, where they started off in a cellar brewing beer, and then after they brewed their kind of first batches, and they got their approvals and all of these things, everything that you need in order to brew and kind of sell beer, and they became bigger, they moved to Malenovice, into the old brewery building, which is a very impressive building. I mean, it's nothing too funky. It really is an industrial building, but it looks very, very nice. And it's where the old Stemberg brewery was, and they moved in there in 2012. So kind of reviving brewing in Malenovice after there wasn't any beer brewed in that building or in that part of Zlín for over 70 years. And basically they started off because back in 2008 there wasn't any kind of regional mini breweries in the Zlín region, because overall I think in 2008 in the Czech Republic you didn't have too many mini breweries. I mean, now you have one in every kind of second village, but back then it wasn't very common to have so many mini breweries as you have now. So it kind of just grew over time. So these guys decided, well, we need to have a mini brewery, and we need to have good unfiltered, unpasteurized craftsmanship beer. And they started off, and they have done tremendously well since then, because they are getting bigger, and they had to move into that into that old, but for them new brewery building, and they have been growing ever since. When you visit the either Zlín or Malenovice, the brewery, They have a great Pivnice there as well. So it's not just a brewery and a shop. You can actually drink in their Pivnice. Pivnice is a kind of Czech word for pub. So you can go in, sit down, have a beer. It's a very, very nice traditional looking pub, where of course you get the fresh beer, directly basically from the brewery. They also have a small beer garden there where you can sit, if the weather is nice. And they have a Pivoteca now as well. So, they used to have a fridge. It used to be just a fridge. You walked into the pub, you opened the fridge, you got your PET bottle if you wanted to take it away. Now they actually set up a small Pivoteca. So you come into the beer garden. This is the way to the Pivnice. And here you have the little Pivoteca. It's like a kiosk. So there's somebody sitting inside and you tell them through the window what you would like to have. And you have a whiteboard where they basically write everything on that they currently have. Really, really nice setting. I really like it, and that is why I'm so excited to have this beer today, because I really like the story about this brewery, and I'm really, I like the setup there as well. It's just such a great setup. It's no nonsense there. It really is about the beer, and that's it. Absolutely fantastic. Today I will be having their 12, which basically means their 12 degrees pale lager, the 12 degrees Světlý ležák. It comes with 5.2% alcohol content and 36 IBUs. So I'm really looking forward to a very smooth kind of bitterness. 36 IBUs is nothing too much yet, or it's nothing too strong. So I'm looking forward to a really smooth and soft bitterness that I hope will come through in the finish. It comes in a 1 liter PET bottle, which I really like. They also have 1.5 liter bottles. Not the 12, at least they didn't have it when I was there just last weekend. But the 1.5 or the 11 degrees, I think it is an 11 degrees semi-dark lager, which I also have sitting in the fridge. It comes in a 1.5 liter bottle. So, sometimes I think 1.5 liters is not really a problem to drink in one evening. But sometimes either you can't, because maybe you have to drive very early in the morning, or you still have something to do, in the evening, or whenever you're going to drink it. 1.5 liters can be sometimes too much. And then when you open a bottle, these bottles need to be drank ideally on the same day when you open them, because they tend to lose their freshness once they've been opened. I mean, they're still good the next day, of course, but they're not as great anymore as when you open them. So I think a 1 liter bottle comes in handier, and you don't have to drink as much if you can't, or if you don't want to. Excuse me. So looking forward to this. Very nice label. So you can see the švec there on the label as well. So overall, from the look and feel, when you look at it and want to make a decision whether or not you should buy this, I think it looks quite nice, So let's give this a go. Remember, this is unpasteurized and unfiltered. So I'm really looking for a very lively beer here as well. And there it is again, that fresh, beautiful aroma. That hoppiness coming through. I'm really looking forward to this already. But I will have to pour this very kind of slowly again, because they are, lively, and sometimes they just create that little bit of extra foam or too much foam, which then I don't really appreciate too much. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's just sometimes they do create more foam if you pour them a bit more aggressively. So I will pour this one quite slow. And I will be using my Szwec glass, which I got not last time I went there, but I think a year ago when I went to the brewery. I bought one of their glasses. They were kind enough to sell me one. So set up to enjoy a good, honest, traditional Czech lager. Now I can pour this a bit more aggressively, because the foam, it's not as lively as I thought it would be, so it's actually exactly the way I want it. Very nice looking, again, that kind of haziness that comes, through the non-filtration. It's just really great. unfiltered. I mean, this is really what I'm looking for in a Czech lager. Absolutely perfect. So I really can't wait. Na zdraví. You may have noticed when I drank this, or while I was drinking it, I closed my eyes. And it may be something to look out for in future videos. When I do that, it is just absolutely heaven for me to drink. You will see it on my reaction of my eyes. When they are closing, it means that this is absolutely beautiful. And it is. It's a beer exactly the way I want it from a Czech mini brewery. Again, that element of the freshness, I mean, that's the first part that just comes in. Because it is unfiltered, it is unpasteurized, that's the first bit that you get. Then you get that hop aroma that comes, as the next part. The next thing that you really get to taste is that beautiful hop aroma with a little bit of maltiness as well. And then, as I suspected, that very, very smooth bitterness kicking in. Nothing that really, there are some beers that have a similar IBU, count. And, for example, I'm not sure which one I don't actually want to make a comparison. I think that would be the wrong thing to do. But some beers with a similar IBU, particularly from industrial breweries, they're not as balanced as this one. And the bitterness would just kind of hit you. It would just kick in. And it would just stay with you then, and it would overwhelm you in a way that the previous elements, the freshness and that hop aroma that you would have enjoyed, would just be kind of forgotten about, because that hop bitterness is just so aggressive. Even it has maybe only 36 or 37 or 38 IBUs, that the previous part is forgotten. With this one, it doesn't do that. It's just perfectly balanced. The hop bitterness is just so smooth. It just kicks in so smooth, and it stays with you as well. And it's just beautiful because it doesn't overtone, that freshness part from the beginning, that hop aroma, that little bit of maltiness that came through as well. It just blends in extremely smoothly. And all of these parts, then, you don't forget about anything, any of the elements, because one of them was overwhelming at the end. Absolutely well done. I really, really enjoy this. This is just a great beer. I will have to have another sip. Just perfect. There isn't really anything else that I can say about this. Let me move the bottle here so you can see it again, in case you see this somewhere. Maybe something to look out for when you are in the Zlín region. Now, if you can't make it to the brewery, I'm sure they have it in some of the beer shops locally, because they do work with the local beer shops. I don't think you can get this in the supermarkets. You may be able actually to pick this up, for example, if you go to a typical supermarket like Kaufland or Albert in Zlín. They may have this because they have fridges for regional breweries. So here where we are in Litomyšice, you get breweries from our region, more so than others, whereas in Zlín, I would assume you could potentially pick this up. And if not, a trip to the brewery, Malenovice, the part of Zlín, it's not far from the center. Take a trip out there, go to the brewery, have a couple of beers. It's just so beautiful. I'm really amazed. It's just, what I keep saying about these beers from mini breweries. I'm not saying all of them are awesome or amazing, because like some don't get it right for my personal taste. It doesn't fit, but with these guys it really does fit my own personal taste. If you are into the pale lagers, to the Světlý ležáks, this is absolutely perfection. I can only recommend this. Like I mentioned, if you are in the Zlín region, there is so many things to do. Or if you are in Prague or you visit Brno, You know, to Zlín you can get a train, you can also get a bus there, although I'm not really sure I would like to travel by bus anymore. I am getting older, so I do prefer trains, although normally I drive. You know, everywhere, although I don't drink and drive, so don't get me wrong, if I have a beer, I don't drive. But if you visit Prague, for example, or Brno, take a trip to Zlín. And, you know, if it's not just for the brewery, if you're saying, you know, maybe just going for the brewery or for some beers, it's a bit too far. Take a trip to Zlín, to the region, travel around a little bit, maybe hop over to Slovakia, see a new country if you haven't already been there. It is an absolutely beautiful region. You know, you have the hills, the greenery. It's great for cycling. It's great for hiking. You know, or just relaxing. Or like I mentioned, you know, Luhačovice, the spa town Luhačovice, from Zlín, it's about 25-minute drive, maybe 30 minutes. I can't exactly remember now, but it's very close to it. So if you are looking for, you know, just some relaxation, you know, go to Zlín, have a few beers here, go to Luhačovice, you know, go to a spa, relax, have a beer at the Pivovar Luhačovice as well, and you can always go back to Brno or to Prague by train, and then follow your itinerary as you want it. But I do recommend that when you visit the Czech Republic, maybe venture out to the Zlín region, because it is absolutely beautiful, and they're making these absolutely amazing beers as well. Absolutely recommended. And I keep saying absolutely and amazing. I'm not getting paid for saying this, so don't get me wrong. I just really love it. It's really that good. And that's it. If you have had this before, if you visited a brewery and you have been there, let me know what your thoughts were. Let me know what you thought about the beer, about the brewery building, and, you know, the Pivnice, the pub inside. If you have visited Zlín, let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. And if not, subscribe to my channel for more beer reviews from the Czech Republic, and I really hope I see you in the next video again. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day. Bye bye.